So here is how I put together 3.5 by 2.5 inch journal cards in Photoshop Elements. First of all, you can go to this page here, there'll be a link below, and download your journal cards. If you click that, it's just going to go right away into a journal cards zip folder, and then you can put it anywhere you want on your computer. Okay, then you unzip it and drag the file into Photoshop, and this is what it looks like. So at the first, on the right-hand side here, it says your website. That's where you put your information. I'm going to just click that off for now. And the border, I'm going to click off too, and you'll see a change here on the cards. Okay? Because that's the finishing touch. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on that base. And I'm going to drag up a piece of background paper in here. And I'm just playing with this. So I'm going to go up now here to Layer, go down to Create Clipping Mask, and you see you've got all of your division there of the cards. I'm going to go to Opacity now on the right and take it to, Thing is, I'm not sure about this paper, so that's why you just click the eyeball. You can always come back to it. Go down to your photo bin, get a different one. Click and drag to make it bigger. Click the green check mark. Layer, create clipping mask. Now, you can move this around to however you like. Okay, I think that's pretty nice. And I am going to take the opacity and take it to about 64%. So that means this other one here, I'm going to right click on that layer and delete layer because I don't want that one now. I want this one. So that is now on there. I'm not going to tie it to here just yet in case I need to make changes to the opacity or blend modes or whatever. Now I'm going to go down to the photo bin and I am going to drag this little book. I'm going to delete that out of there so I know not to use it twice. And okay, so this I'm going to put onto here. I'm going to go up to the zoom and zoom in a bit because I want to just work on this one card. Okay. Back over to the tool here, the cross tool or selection tool. And I want this image selected. Now I'm going to click the wand over here, magic wand. I'm going to keep this clicked on contiguous and anti-aliasing. What contiguous means is I'm going to click the white area and it's going to take all the white out that surrounds that image. Okay, I'm going to just take that off for a second. If I take contiguous off, it's going to do, you can see there's white inside of this. It's going to take that color and select it anywhere in the image, wherever it shows up in the image. Okay, so we want contiguous. So click that one again. And you can dial your tolerance up here. That's something I'm going to have to get into as the situation arises. So there I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to hit delete. It's going to say the smart layer must be simplified before it can be edited. Would you like to proceed? Okay. And then hit delete again because it wouldn't let me the first time. Now, click again anywhere just to get rid of the dotted lines around it. Can you see around here? We've got some white that doesn't belong. So this is where I'm going to zoom in again and get rid of that white. And I'm going to really zoom in here because there's some areas. And if you're really picky, you can do a very good job on this. So just watch what I'm doing here. And these ones are part of that flower thing. Oh no, that isn't. That one I think is. This can get tedious if you have a really detailed picture image, but it's worth it because it looks so much better. Oh, something fell in the background. It's so worth it if you've got something in the background that it just like it just sets it off if you cut this out properly. And if you don't, it just something won't quite look right. Okay. And then just click until all those dots go away. I think, oh, there's a little bit here. Delete, delete. Okay, and then those little dots are going to stay there until you click again. And now it's made more dots, so click one more time, it'll go away. You might have to do it a couple times. Now I'm going to go to the zoom, come down here and hit the minus because I want the zoom to go smaller now, but I still want to be able to work on that one card. So I take my selection tool, make sure I've got that layer that I want, which is the book of the books and flowers, and I'm going to make it smaller so it will fit on here. And what else I'm going to do is I'm going to take this square selection tool and I'm going to click and drag around that exact square. There are other ways of doing this, but that's how I want to do it. Make sure I got the book selection tool, sorry, the book stack selected. Go to this selection tool, and down here we're going to go to alignment, and I want it to be center this way and centered this way. So it's centering the entire image. So this flower sticks out a bit, so it's going to, the books aren't necessarily going to look like they're in the center, but that's okay. That's how I want this piece. You can do it however you like. Click that dotted square again and click anywhere here, and then that row of dots will go away from around that card. Now back, I always go back to home base and click on that main selection tool. So I feel like this isn't really standing out the way it could. So I'm going to take this, the base layer, and it's at 64% opacity. I'm going to take it down a little more to 41, and then I'm going to go back up to my book and flower stack. I'm going to go down here to styles, and let's just see what a drop shadow looks like. Just click and drag, and I think that's a little bit too much, so you go to this gear up here, settings, and I take the size, and I'm changing now the size of that shadow. Okay, you can see now it makes it even more black. And then that's the distance that's causing that. So if you do 4 and 5, at least you can do it however you like, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do 4 and 5. It just looks not bad like that. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next one, back to layers, back to photo bin. I'm going to pick another set of books here. Let's go with this one. Drag it in there. I'm going to delete it down here from the photo bin. Now, because I have this zoomed in, you can't see where this picture is. But I'm going to take it up to the top. We can make it smaller to fit the card better. Click the green check mark, and I'm going to select my magic wand. Click, delete. You can either click OK or hit enter there because it's selected, and then hit delete again. And on this one, I think, oh, there are a few little white spaces, but I'm going to have to zoom in. I want to had it set to mine, so hit the plus down the bottom left. Okay. Here we go. So, magic wand tool. Click, delete. And here, click and delete. And you're probably wondering, why don't I just take contiguous off of there? Because it'll take out the white in the entire picture, and it'll be patchy, and half your picture is going to be gone. Now this one here, I removed that, and I did take part of the flower. So when you make a mistake, go down here and click undo, and it'll redo the last thing you did, which is coming up now. Here's something I must have clicked accidentally. So I want to go back another one, undo again. And now you can see my thing here is that area is highlighted, undo, and now that white came back. And then I'm just going to click anywhere in the image twice to get that back to, I just want it how it originally was. Now I'm going to go to the zoom, minus it, and I'm going to take this selection tool again and go up to that set of books. Click the selection tool and do center and center. Oh, I did the wrong one. That's a good thing because it shows you I was selecting this set of books that were used to be over here, if you happen to see that happen, because on the layers here I was not sure which one was which. So this is it's good when things like this happen so I can use it as a teaching moment. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to hit undo and it puts it back. Okay. And then now I'm going to select the proper one, which is this one, and center that. So center and center. And then I'm going to get rid of my square lines, hit the selection, and then I'm going to go down here to styles, get my drop shadow and drag it onto that image. And I'm going to go up to the gear here and take it down again. What did I say? 5 and 6, I think it was. Something like that. Let's see how that looks. Pretty good. Okay, I'm going to continue with these and then I'll be back. I'm going to just pause the video and then I will be back to show you the finishing touches that I'm going to do here, okay? Okay, so I filled these all in and I've put a drop shadow on all of them. So the next step, what I like to sometimes do, depends on the look you're going for. I found this old document. I'm going to drag that into the document or the file. And I want it to be on top. I'm going to just X that out for a second because something has happened here that's good for you to see. This down here, the first layer I made, it's at 41%. I'm just going to highlight it so you can see. That layer is no longer clipped to the cards below. It came out when I put something else in there, and that happens. So just make sure it's right above the cards, right above the layer that you want to clip it to. Go back up to layer, create clipping mask. And I had done that opacity at 41%. 42 is good too. And then what I'm going to do is right click on that layer and merge down so that's locked in. Now that can't happen again what just happened. So another little happy accident which became a teaching moment. So right on top of that layer, but underneath all of these things, I want to add that document. So that's where this one goes. Now I'm going to pull it to make sure it covers all the cards. And at the bottom, click the green check mark. Now I'm going to go up to layer and create a clipping mask. And you're going to think, what the heck have you done? Go up to your blend modes. And we're going to go to the one I liked here is color burn. See what it does there? I'm going to go to the opacity now because it is a little bit too much. We want just delicate things. So even 27%, you get to see that in the background. I'm going to take that away for a second so you can see the difference. So some of them aren't as big a difference as others, but it could maybe be a little bit more. I just don't want it to be too severe. That's pretty good there, 36. So now I'm going to right click and merge that down. Then I'm going to merge all of these book stacks, all those graphics right down to here as well. So actually what I'm going to do is just select the book stacks. We're going to merge them down to the card layer. So there. So they're all, oh, they're not on the card. One more time, merge. Now we're going to add a border. And the color I wanted to do, I like to go over here to color and click it, and then it'll create, as you hover over, it'll you can click with this little dropper on what color you want to go for. So I would like one of these kind of brownish, or we're going to go with this one. Lettering. No, I think that brownish one I had. Fairly dark. Click OK, and you can see over here. So now I have selected my color for the outline. I'm going to go up here to where it says Border Journal Cards and click on the eyeball to expose it so you can see it. And select that layer. I'm going to go up here to the little to circle with like a half moon with a little drop down arrow. I don't know what it's called. I apologize. Select solid color and OK. Then we're going to go to layer, create clipping mask. So that goes around that border, which is with the one I selected. I'm going to right click here and merge so that if I take this away, the border is still there. Okay. That border is a little bit severe. So again, layer, create clipping mask, that'll tone it down. But I can also go up to the opacity and take that down to 72. It still gives a pretty good line. Then I'm going to merge down that one. Now, on the right, I'm going to do a Control J, and that makes a second copy of this. As you can see, there's two layers the same. Select the top one. We're going to go to, this is a finishing touch. Filter at the top, blur, and average. So what that's doing is taking the average colors of everything. I'll just move this for a sec. Takes the average colors of all that's in here. Okay. Make sure you've got that one selected. Go up to your blend modes and go to soft light. And the opacity, I'm going to take it to about 51. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to take that away for a sec, and it's a little bit darker. And then I'm going to put it back, and it just ties everything together. Then we're going to unclick this and put your website down at the bottom. So select that. Actually, I'm going to zoom a bit here. Oops, we want the bigger one again. Sorry, I do that every time. I want to see what I'm working with. So scroll down. It says rusticplayground.com. Make sure that's selected. Select text. And then you can highlight. Oh, normally you can't. For some reason it won't on this one. So you're going to have to create a new layer. I'll show you how you do that. Otherwise, you're going to have Rustic Playground on everything. You don't want that. So you can delete that. And now we're going to go up here, this little paper. Click that. That's a new layer, and it's blank and it's transparent. Go over to text. I'm going to just keep that color. Click anywhere down here. And I am going to type my website or whatever you want to put on here. Vintage Visionaries Club. And then I put underneath by Rustic playground.com/BBC. Now what I do, click the check mark, I only want this bottom part, select text, and then I'm going to highlight that, just the bottom one, and make that italic down at the bottom here, and maybe a smidge smaller, because I don't want the top part. Then click OK. Now, get this whole thing on the screen here, which means I got to go up to your selection with the square. I'm going to go right from the bottom and select the entire width, and you could go up to the bottom of the cards if you like. Make sure you've selected your text. Grab this handle tool, the main selection tool, and then go down here to align center and align middle, and that puts that where you want it. Grab your square again and just click anywhere, and then back to the main, actually sorry, zoom, and then just click this one. It's fit screen, and that just puts it the biggest it can be so you can see the whole thing. Then what I'm going to do, go down to one of these layers. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click flatten. That gets rid of all of those layers, and that puts a white background. So this is your finished product, but now you just got to save it. Save as, click OK here, and I am putting it into August kit, and it's saving as 3.5 by 2.5 journal cards. The save as type, I don't want layers in it. I want it to be a JPEG. So make sure you've selected that and click Save. And it's going to ask you about the size of it. I'm doing a quality 6 so that the size is 890 kilobytes. That's small. That's good. If it's too big, you're just going to have problems with uploading and whatever. And then click OK, and you're good to go. See you in the next one.